Hello and welcome back, everybody, to this awesome, super great tier list. We're back, and by we, I mean the people of life that do this with me. Back in the ring again. Introduce yourselves.
Hola,
Hi.
senors. My name is Dangelo Johnson. That's Dangelo Johnson on YouTube. You can give me a follow there, watch my awful clips, laugh, say I'm great, say I'm terrible, whichever one's the best.
All right, all right.
I'm just a cat. Hi.
And there we go. All right, now that that's all done, let's get to the main meat and potatoes here of what you're here for. Let's get her started. And of course, I had to leave off on the biggest one, the most anticipated one, Godfrey. What did we think of Godfrey, the first Elden Lord?
Hold on, I'm trying to get my screen big sized.
You still gonna play a video to the side?
No, not this time.
I don't think you need one for Godfrey. I mean,
Godfrey is the JoJo boss, right? With the tiger stand.
yeah, that's exactly what he is.
Sure.
And he's also King from Tekken, apparently.
Yeah, I put him in. I personally enjoyed his fight. He's one of the funnest fights, boss wise. Like he's good. Like he's a fun fight where his moves make sense. They're easy to dodge, but if they hit you with it, it's satisfying to get hit by it as well. He's
It was a
definitely
cool fight.
Yeah.
His second phase where he just was like, man, I don't need this weapon. I'm running straight hands. And then he pile drives you into the floor for the first time. Yeah, peak.
Yeah.
And obviously his lore, his background, I mean, him fighting, Placiduous X, which we had at S tier this whole time. Kinda makes sense he should be up there too, seeing as he beat him, so.
And the fact that once he goes phase 2, every time he walks, he makes the ground shake. It took me a while to realize that. Then once you realize that, I was like, oh shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
His phase 2 was probably one of my favorite transitions in the game.
it's so
Yep.
fun with two people. He literally he'll suplex your friend and then stomp over towards you and then fucking elbow drop the shit out of
Like I said,
Yeah,
all he is King unmasked.
you. Buff
Alright.
Granddad.
Now on the opposite side of that scale, you got Godric the Grafted.
Man, that guy's a little.
He
I would
shoves
definitely give him a C for the entrance into the game. He's definitely a challenge. I had to go back a couple times for him.
A challenge?
He's a challenge.
Nah, that guy is weak.
If it's your first Souls game, he's not weak. He's definitely a challenge. He's not too hard.
Okay,
of a
if it's your
challenge.
first Souls game, you're gonna have trouble with everything on here.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's definitely a good entrance into the game. I wouldn't
But-
give him a D.
I'd give him F. I hated him.
He's definitely not
Hated him.
brain dead or broken.
I don't. His arena is like so small.
Yeah, his arenas.
I just like his AoE little fire move is just like, come on now. His little fire tornado. Hell, even before the fire, his rolling around, dodging you. And it's like the most useless roll around too, because you'll just roll back into the same place. I don't know.
He's so predictable.
I'd put him at D.
Alright, give him
But-
a high D.
I'll give him a high D. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna beat the Fire Giant because the Fire Giant was at least like I don't know. He's literally the tallest thing in any Souls game that's ever existed.
Don't you
I think
fight three
Nah.
Godrics? Don't you fight 3 Godrics anyways?
you fight 2 of them.
Because you
So-
fight him and then don't you fight him again without the arm where he's actually serious?
There's like a jail or something. I think you fight him in one of the ever jails.
He has a different name spelling. It's a different
Yeah.
version of him.
Oh yeah. He's on the list somewhere here, isn't he?
I think we've already.
Oh yeah,
Done-
Godfrey. Yeah,
Thing.
there he is right there.
Godfrey. Yep, that's him.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways. Okay, so this is the Godskin Apostle. I wonder which one this is. Is this the one in the tower?
I think Zach has something to say about that guy.
Godskin is the lamest fucking boss ever. Let's take a regular enemy and crank its damage to 5 million. His moves don't look like they fucking hurt, nor do they make sense. I don't know why these things are the things that are killing fucking gods.
They make sense. They found an anti-fire. You know, a fire that's not the one that can burn down the earth tree and everything. One that is mixed with death. You know? And they wear god skin. They wear the skin of gods.
How do they get the skin of a god?
Obviously by killing them and skinning them.
How do you kill a god with your little fucking pokey stick? This shit isn't...
It's really the fire that's the main damage source there. Well, yeah, so if we set the precedent that one Godskin Apostle, that means all of them are gonna have to go in F tier.
I mean, what other apostle do you have? When you have the fat dude with the rapier that does a fuck ton of damage for no reason, so you can go sit right next. You can go sit right next to his friend down there too.
So the Godskin Noble, you're not fond of either, huh?
Hell no. Hell no.
I thought that Godskin Noble was a lot more annoying than the Apostle.
So you're saying two of them in one arena is also not...
That made me uninstall. Godskin Duo made me uninstall, because by the time you get to the Godskin Duo, you've already dealt with both the Godskin Apostle twice and the Godskin Noble twice, on top of all the other bullshit bosses that kind of suck ass, and the cats twice. So at that point, I was just like, I'm done with this game. They're out of ideas.
Listen, though, obviously. It was your drive, your need to beat the game. Second, to defeat them specifically, that made you reinstall it as well.
I came back, reinstalled it, they nerfed him and made him not so stupid. And it was second shot.
There was ways to beat him. You could put him to sleep. You could do all types of things. I personally did not struggle that much against him. I did not take that many deaths.
I didn't struggle at all against him.
Those motherfuckers were ass. I hated them so bad.
Hell, I even used their own weapon against them. I used the God Great Slayer sword, the big old one.
I was one of the lame people who used magic the whole first playthrough.
Now the Grafted Scion definitely deserves to be at F tier. That's just a regular enemy as a boss with a boss health bar.
Yeah.
That's true.
Shouldn't even have a boss health bar, but whatever.
Really
Grave Warden Duelist. Again, that's another one that just becomes a regular enemy. This one is like that one with the... And for some reason... Well, hold on. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. He gets those little hammers that he has on a chain, and he gets to throw them around and swing them around and everything like that, but when you get the hammer, you don't get to do any of that. Why couldn't we have the same moveset for getting those hammers? That would make those hammers 100 times better.
Maybe.
But yeah, anybody who's...
Kindred of Rot.
Another...
Is this the thing from the DLC that's all over the floor?
Well, they're also in the game. Those are the things that shoot like... Remember that cave you get teleported to?
Oh, screw those guys.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah. Okay,
freaking just aimbot. Bitches.
Just as a pure establishment, unless they're unique in any way, any enemy here that turns into a boss is probably going to go at the bottom. There's exceptions like Battle Maze Huge, which I don't believe should be up there, or Clean Rot, but at least they're unique. These are literally just... This guy has a name, this guy has a name. Clean Rot Knight, I don't think he should be up here, but, you know, at least he has a moveset. These guys have, like, one move. Alright?
It's just the same thing with a bigger health bar. That's all it is.
Yeah. A Misbegotten. Again, you know what? This one's only cool for the fact that he's definitely one of the stronger Misbegottens. But he's definitely still D tier. The best thing about doing this fight is getting the Game of Thrones sword. That's about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where you get the Game of Thrones sword. The one that has like 15 different swords all melded together. But yeah, that's again a misbegotten. You can fight that at the Halleck tree, so why does it even matter? Lich Dragon Fortisax, the Death Lightning Dragon, the one where you fight in Fia's champion Dreamscape. I mean, I think he's pretty dope. I think he belongs in C or
Is he
B.
part of the? Is he part of that part where
He's
you
cool
have
at
to get?
least.
I don't think I got to fight that one. Where do you fight that one at?
Do you remember the place with all the ants in the tree?
Yes.
Okay. After you get past that, there's like a little mini city that has like a bunch of water, and half of them are like kind of sunk in.
Yes.
There's a way to get if you just climb up all the buildings. There's like a place where it's right under the Halleck tree, or actually not under the Halleck tree. It's under the Erd tree underground, essentially. And Godric, no, what was the one that died? First one that got killed that set off the Elden Ring. No, it wasn't Godric. It was Godfrey.
Something like that.
No, Godric, Godfrey, God something, whatever. He is still technically kind of
Godwin.
alive. Godwin, yeah. He's sort of technically alive in a way. He's the one that's spreading all the death blight and death things, and that's why you see skulls on like crads and things like that. He's actually right under the Erd tree
See
itself,
skulls
and
on
he was
things
trying
like
to.
crap like that.
Yeah, you haven't noticed any of that? Anywhere where this death tree is, anything that's above ground or kind of near it has like death, like has skulls and death growing off of it. Like they're starting to become corrupted. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so he's just a fight after the Fia's champions, which is just a gang squad that you have to fight him next. And he's pretty cool. He actually summons the death lightning. Like the blight death. Yeah,
You
so
get
I
that
think
after you kill him?
yes, you do get the death lightning. Although the death lightning's kind of useless because the only thing it affects is NPCs, so.
Oh.
But, or you can take it to PvP, so that might make it a little fun. Lion Guardian. Again, just stay there. You're a regular enemy that's fought later. You are kind of cool.
That's not the thing from the DLC?
No, none of this is from the DLC. Why do you think this DLC?
I don't know. I thought that was that weather changing fucking lion.
No,
Dragon.
we're gonna do the DLC possibly another time. We'll see after we get past these tier lists. Promises. Probably not. Anyways, Loretta of the Halleck tree. You know which one that one. That's the one on the horse. And you fight her twice. Yeah. First you fight her spirit, and then you fight her for real. And she has the sniper magic bow and all the other magic sort of attacks that have to do with the tracking with the swords and stuff.
She's a fun boss, but
I think she's alright. I think she's like...
She's alright.
I think she's about mid-tier. I mean,
she was never like an extremely difficult boss or anything. She just...
No, she can do some damage.
That's about it.
She's a little mobile, but she's not, like, unhittable, or she doesn't always run away to where it's annoying or anything like that. Dodging her attacks ain't that hard. Her melee attacks on the horse can be kind of iffy, and the tracking on the magic swords can kind of get you, but it is what it is. You'll eventually just get past it all and get her. So, pretty cool. Mad Pumpkinhead. Again, that's just a regular enemy and as a boss. You do get the spirit summon for him, though, I believe, after that, which is pretty cool. Mimic tier. Where do we even put the Mimic tier? The Mimic tier is just fight you. You're the Mimic tier. What do you rate yourself?
Want it to be. I'll put it as a C, but I came back after I damn near beat the game to get the Mimic tier.
I mean,
That
there's
Mimic tier is
nothing.
really strong.
It is. And you know
The
what you
best
could
part
do?
about it is the fact you can get the tier itself and use it, but that's
You can
the
also
fight
cheese
itself is
it.
weird.
You can also cheese
Yeah,
the
you
fight
can
too. You
cheese
can
that
take
hard.
off all your armor, all your weapons and everything, walk in there, and then as soon as the mimic tier starts trying to turn into you, you can just put everything back on and he'll start doing like no damage. So, yeah, I think C tier is fine. Because it's only as
Yeah,
hard as you. Wow, that sounded wrong. It's only as hard as you make it. So you can try to pretend you're challenging, like you're fighting yourself with whatever armor and stuff you have at the time, and see how well you fare, or you can just kind of cheese it. So I think he should belong in some sort of mystery tier I should make up, but whatever. Miranda the Blighted. This is just a flower. This doesn't even. This shouldn't even count. You're not even. You're just killing the mobs to getting to the flower. So I'm just gonna leave that
What the
there.
fuck?
Mog, the Omen. This is the one you fight that's not in his realm, but the one you fight underground or like in that little chapel area in Lindell. I mean,
Yeah, I don't like how you just fight the same boss multiple times.
I'm gonna put this one at C tier because it's what it it is what it is. When you first meet it and you're like, whoa, who's this guy? This guy's cool. And then you beat him, you're like, huh, that was kind of weird. But then you see him again, and the place, the blood, it's the craziest like little area of the game. And then you see him transform, and then you also have to beat him for the
No, you
DLC,
don't.
which I
No,
don't
you
know if
don't. You don't get to see him transform because if you don't have that stupid gem, you die to the fucking bleed.
that is the only thing that I think I'm not gonna give him a definitely not an S tier for that.
I'd say A
Oh.
tier. Yeah,
Oh my.
I liked him.
I
I thought
I
he was
think he's
cool.
somewhere
He was
between A and B
my-
because he did kind of set up like an entire DLC.
He was one of my fucking
Yeah, he
biggest
did.
gripes of the entire game. Just because you go through the coolest part of the game and then you get to him and he's a cool boss fight and he just doesn't attack where the only way you could avoid getting hit by the attack is buying a stupid gem that has nothing to do with
Oh, you
Mo.
don't buy the gem. You have to do that mission, that specific
Yeah.
side quest to get to it.
A
Which
specific
again,
side quest doesn't-
I agree. I agree on putting him lower than S tier because of it easily. Some people you can out heal it. You can just do if you cheese the game in a way to where you can do 1,000,000,000 damage in one shot, sure. But again, it's not the fact that you like, oh, there's ways to do it. It's just that the ways to do it are always something really dumb if you don't want to
It's
do the
extremely
side
obscure
quests.
for the sake of being obscure, and that comes after, and that's after dealing with I dealt with them after the Godskin duo.
I usually just
I'm already
outbuild it.
pissed off. I'm already pissed off from the rest of the bullshit I've already dealt with this far, and that's what I was like, all right.
Yeah, I
It wasn't
honestly
very
think
hard to out heal, to be honest.
I honestly think he belongs at the top of B tier. At worst, he's
I'm okay with.
at worst or at best, he's bottom of A tier, top of B tier.
I'd bottom A tier just because I liked him. But yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
can't.
fine.
I can't. I agree. The fact that you have to go out of your way for something that it never told you to even do, even if you were to get all the way up to him, there's no like real indicator other than like there's some. I think there's like some sort of text you can find where it's like, oh, you got to find this this specific item, but it doesn't tell you where the item is. So what's the point? You might as well tell me to go find the scroll. You know.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know the item existed. I was just out healed it.
I didn't have enough vitality. Vitality check in RPG. Fucking
Magma
great.
worm. Again, regular
Fuck
enemy.
that
He
guy.
was cool.
F.
He was cool when
He's a
you
regular
did find him. Actually, he is a repeated boss.
He's just
He's
a
a re-
repeated boss. Yeah.
He becomes a regular enemy in the DLC. One of the
I thought I thought
But
he was a boss in that cave.
no, there's one where he's just there's no boss like bar at all. But in the main games, every single magma worm does have a health bar, and this one specifically, I actually like him better than the rest of them because the other two are just kind of like there, and they give you the magma worm shot and stuff. But this one actually gives you the super strong weapon, and he has a weapon. He has that cool like scale blade that also does like magma things. So I think he actually belongs at least in D tier. Do you remember the weapon that he uses? That curved
That
great
little
sword
yeah.
that shoots magma
The
out when you
sword
do
is
his
pretty
heavy.
cool.
When you use a skill. Yeah.
I always like that sword.
So I think this one specifically earns its spot somewhere in D tier. If you guys are, I'll just put him somewhere in the middle. I'll put
Yeah,
him right
somewhere
there.
in the
Why
middle.
not? Why not? Millennia. Is this even a question? Is this even
Or
That
S tier.
just S tier.
literally the hardest boss in the game? One of the hardest bosses of the Soul series. Has a cool backstory. Fucking went toe to toe with Radahn. I mean, there's just so much to her.
He
that-
went toe to toe with Radahn.
You
Before
count
the
her as winning?
Godskins. I don't know. Are the Godskins stronger than her?
Nah, I don't think so. They
Then why
might
did
be
you
able to
fight-
kill
why
her
do
if
you
they
fight the-
jump her.
No, let's say, why do you fight the Godskins after fucking Radahn?
I think it's more of just where the road takes you. I mean, you could easily have find a Godskin before Radahn if you just go down, whatever path. That's kind of the whole thing about Elden Ring and its open worldness. You can just end up somewhere where you don't realize,
You could
Uh,
skip entire chunks of the game and not even notice it.
You could
Yeah, 'cause I
100%
didn't
do the
I did-
first that God Tower where you're supposed to go to Radahn's tower to go all the way up to that rune. I mean,
Yeah.
at the bottom, that's where that first Godskin Apostle is. So, anyways, Malekith, aka Gronk. I mean, 100%, this dude's awesome. The fact that first he plays as that guy that eats the death roots in the little chapel there, or sanctum, whatever you want to call it. And then he's like, alright, I gotta stop messing around now and show you what I'm really worth. Pulls out the black and gold suit, and then has the destined death built into his weapon. And then he jumps all around and shoots little mini Getsuga Tensho death waves. I mean, what else is there? And it makes sense story-wise too. Marika.
He's one of my favorite boss battles.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun to fight.
It was really fun.
Yeah, the whole thing with this whole story is that every Elden Lord like Empyrean, whatever, they always have some sort of wolf or lion or whatever other spirit, either physical animal or spirit animal, whatever it is. They all have one. Marika's is actually Malekith's. Godfrey's has his lion on his shoulder. Ronnie has blade, whatever you want to call them. Everyone has one. Every Empyrean has one, so it makes sense story-wise. So this is all really cool. So this is good. Easy S tier. Margit the Fell Omen. I think he's the first. Okay, this is the first fight. This is literally the first fight into the castle. I think he deserves at least a C tier, if not a B tier. I think he's just like his brother. Because, hey, first time you make your character, you finally end up at Stormvale Castle. You walk up and this guy's like, hey, Tarnished, you don't belong here. So I'm going to show you why.
Always.
And then he beats you with a cane for a little bit, and then you get him down to about quarter or halfway, and he starts throwing light daggers, and then he pulls out the light hammer and just teaches you whatever, and then that's the first time. Whenever you get beat by this guy, you go, "Oh man, I need to level up. I need to also upgrade my weapon. I need to go find smithing stones. I need to. This guy does so much damage, and I do so little damage. I need help. Whatever it is. This is your first. This was everybody's first roadblock, really. And that's when you
Always
realize,
called him the
oh,
newbie
okay.
filter.
Yeah, exactly. There are people who would quit because of this one first boss that you fight. They have quit the game because they are not strong enough mentally, physically, sexually to even be close to beating him.
Excuse me?
Anyways, what's your take on it, Dangalo?
He's alright. He's a good entrance. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had him mixed up with the other guy. I had him mixed up with Godfrey, so that's my bad. So whatever I said about Godfrey, apply that to him.
You mean Godric, the grafted dude?
Godric, yeah. It's almost like fucking this game is
Godric's
a
the
terrible
one with the
naming
dragon arm.
Yeah, no, I meant to say Godfrey.
You mean Margaret? It's fine. We all understand what you mean. And by we all, I mean us too. Yeah, the newbie filter. And then the best part is when you see him again. And then you're
His
like,
return.
what? Didn't I kill you earlier? Didn't I kill you already? And then
Yeah,
he's
that's what I
like,
was talking about.
and then he breaks his cane open to reveal an actual sword, and he's like, oh hell no, he's like, they call me the what?
Yeah, A's a good spot for that.
I was the juice box, now I'm the
interesting.
drink. That's exactly what happened. He said, no, you fought like a ghost of me or something. This is like Superboy, and I'm Superboy Prime. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was just playing. Yeah, and then he pulled out the big moves, like the big... I don't even know what to call that wave juice. I called it the gunk juice. I don't know what it did, but it did damage, so... And then the swords from the sky move. Yeah, I think he's an A tier, personally. Because of the whole fact that he is Godfrey's son. Godfrey mourns his death. He's an omen. Before we knew what omens actually, where they came from, what they were, we just knew them as cursed people. And the fact that he's a king, and he would have been fit for Elden Lord if it wasn't for the fact of the horns and everything.
So was he a horn scent?
Yeah. That's what it... Yeah, him and Moog. They're horn scent people. Or at least half.
Why didn't they get killed?
Because obviously America escaped from the horn scent realm. And took them with them.
No, I mean... Yeah, but... Wait, I thought America wanted the fucking horn scent gone.
Well, clearly she had 2 kids, so... I don't know. Who knows what her plans are so intricate and so vast.
So stupid.
Possibly stupid, but I also think he's better than Moog, not because of the fight difference, but because of the fact that you don't have to have a bullshit item. Again, Moog would be up here if it wasn't for that. In fact, he'd be above Morgott if there wasn't for that item and what you have to do. If he was just a straight fight with his abilities, it would have been fine. But Knights Cavalry, these guys are just fun to beat up.
Yeah,
except for the, you know what? Except for this specific one that's on the bridge in Caelid. This one sucked to fight. I hate fighting this one. This one just did an absurd amount of damage for no reason whatsoever. The other ones did reasonable damage, and you can beat their horse to where it disappears for a minute, and then when you drop on the floor, you can critical attack him, and then beat the hell out of him. This one specifically, you'd have to be like level 200 to kill his horse, and 10 plus item. Like that horse was not dying, and then he just did a absurd amount of damage. I just remember that fight super clearly. Let's see here. Damn, we're already 30 minutes in. Oh man, is this gonna be a part 3 video?
Bum bum bum.
Did they think this was gonna be all done right here? Oh man, how many more do we got? Let's see, 1, 2,
Got quite a bit. Might have to be another video.
12. Oh man. Okay. You guys think it's gonna be another video?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, look. The only ones we don't really have to talk about are all of the ones at the bottom, really. Half of these ones. You think we can knock these out real quick?
I don't know, buddy.
Do you want to do another one? I guess is the question.
We might.
You gonna save it for next time?
I think I'm gonna save them for next time.
Oh
Sorry.
man,
Have you checked your recording? Have you checked your voice
I checked
yet?
it. I checked it. It's
Are
all
we
good.
Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I checked it. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right, we'll
Half
save
that
it.
recording's going to be muted.
We'll save it for another time. But I mean, most of these upcoming ones, I don't know about them. There's like maybe 4 here that are going to be worth talking about. So I guess we'll save it. All right. All right,
Okay.
but that's about it then. Come back for part 3 next Saturday. Whichever that would be. All right, see you later, folks.